The night has a way of revealing battles that daylight tries to hide. When the world goes quiet, your thoughts get louder. And sometimes the enemy tries to whisper fear into the silence. The shadows in your room feel heavier, the valley around you feels deeper, and the weight on your heart tries to follow you into the night. But tonight, something shifts. This is not a night of fear. This is a night of warfare, of promise, of divine protection. Tonight, God Himself steps into your valley. He becomes your shield, your light, your defender, the shepherd who walks with you through every shadowed place, and the one who lifts your head when the enemy tries to push it down. You are not praying alone. Heaven is awake while the earth sleeps. Angels are already moving toward your home, positioning themselves at every window, every doorway, every corner of the night. And the voice of the enemy, the one that tried to torment your mind, will be silenced under the weight of God's presence. So breathe, let your shoulders loosen, let your mind calm, let your heart rest under the wings of the Almighty, because in this moment, God is drawing near to you, closer than your breath, stronger than your fear. And as you pray Psalm 3 tonight, you will feel the atmosphere shift. You will sense the battle move in your favor. You will know that the Lord Himself surrounds you like fire, and every weapon formed against you loses its strength, loses its voice, loses its power. If you can, stay with me until the end of this prayer. There is a blessing waiting for you, a covering prepared for you, a victory already rising in the dark. Subscribe to receive God's protection every night. When the night deepens and everything grows still, your valley becomes clearer than ever. The place where your fears gather, where old wounds try to speak again, where the enemy's voice pretends to be louder than God's truth. But tonight, the Lord steps into that darkness. His presence fills the valley before you even whisper a prayer. You may feel surrounded by worries, by memories, by invisible pressures, but heaven sees what surrounds you too, and God walks straight into the center of it. He doesn't wait for daylight. He enters the shadows with authority. Your valley becomes His battlefield. The enemies you cannot see, the attacks that rise without warning, the spiritual weight that tries to settle on your shoulders, none of it intimidates Him. God is not distant from your struggle. He positions Himself right beside you. Your fear becomes His command to fight. Feel the shift in the atmosphere. The air grows warmer, steadier. The trembling inside your chest begins to settle. God's footsteps echo in the unseen realm, breaking through the intimidation that tried to grow around you. And every force that rose against you now senses that it is outmatched. Your valley is not empty tonight. God's light begins to rise from within it, not a soft glow, but a warrior's fire, a divine flame that pushes back every shadow. The darkness doesn't vanish quietly. It flees in panic because the one who enters carries all authority. The enemy thought the night would break you, but God arrives before anything can reach you. He inspects every corner of your valley, every thought, every fear, every unspoken cry. He does not overlook anything. Nothing hides from His sight. Nothing is too small for His attention. Tonight, He draws a line the enemy cannot cross, a holy boundary, invisible yet undeniable. Everything sent to disturb you, every attack, every whisper, every spiritual threat hits the border of God's presence and falls powerless to the ground. You are not exposed, you are defended. This valley, once filled with fear, now becomes a place of encounter. Your tears become prayers, your silence becomes worship, your breath becomes evidence that God sustains you. And in that stillness, you realize you are not fighting alone. Look around with your spirit. See the mountains that once felt so high, the shadows that once looked alive, the attacks that once felt overwhelming. Now watch them shrink as God stands taller than all of them. His presence fills the landscape of your soul. This is where the battle begins, not with chaos but with God's arrival. He steps between you and the danger. He takes the first position on the front line. Your role is not to panic, but to rest under his covering. He fights for you tonight. Every weapon formed against you trembles. Every plan spoken in secret breaks. Every voice that tried to discourage you loses its strength in the presence of the Almighty. The valley is no longer a threat. It is a place where God reveals his power. A place where fear collapses. So breathe again. God is here in your night, here in your valley, here in the middle of the battle. And when God enters the scene, the enemy loses the right to speak. Tonight, victory begins in silence. Lord, how many are my foes? This is how Psalm 3 begins, with honesty, with heaviness, with a cry from someone surrounded. And maybe this is your reality tonight. Many pressures, many fears, many unseen attacks. But God listens to every word you whisper. How many rise up against me? The psalmist describes voices, threats, burdens, and you know what that feels like. When the enemy tries to rise in your mind, when thoughts attack you without mercy, when fear tries to grow in the dark. Yet the risen Lord rises higher. Many are saying of me, God will not deliver him. Maybe people doubted you. Maybe circumstances mocked your faith. Maybe the enemy whispered that you were alone. But Psalm 3 reminds you, the enemy's voice is not God's voice. And tonight, God silences every lie, but you, Lord, are a shield around me, not a partial shield, a shield around you on every side, a covering over your mind, a guard over your sleep, a wall around your home. You are not exposed, you are encircled by God, my glory and the one who lifts my head high. God lifts you when fear pushes you down. He restores what the enemy tried to destroy. He places his hand beneath your chin and raises your eyes toward hope again. He replaces shame with light. He lifts your head with love. I call out to the Lord and he answers me from his holy mountain. He answers you, not sometimes, not occasionally. He answers you. Your prayer tonight rises like incense and heaven responds with power. Your cry is never ignored. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. This is God's promise for your night. You will not sleep in fear nor wake in panic. God himself sustains your breathing, your rest, your peace. I will not fear tens of thousands assailing me on every side. Even when attacks multiply, God multiplies protection. Even when enemies surround, God surrounds you more. Fear loses its right to rule your night. Arise, Lord. Deliver me, my God. This is a warrior's cry, a declaration that God is active, not passive. When you call, God rises. He stands over the battle. He takes command. He moves with authority toward your situation. For you strike all my enemies on the jaw. You break the teeth of the wicked. This is not human violence. It is spiritual victory. God breaks the power of every voice that tried to speak against your destiny. He shatters the influence of darkness. From the Lord comes deliverance, not from people, not from luck, not from circumstances. Your freedom comes from God alone. Your protection comes from his hands. Your deliverance is already unfolding tonight. May your blessing be on your people. Adieu, and tonight, that includes you. God places blessing over your home, peace over your sleep, strength over your spirit, and victory over your valley. Psalm 3 becomes your shield in the night. The moment Psalm 3 is spoken, something shifts in the invisible realm. Your words travel farther than your room. They rise into heaven, and heaven does not stay silent. Angels stand at attention, and the Lord prepares to descend into battle. Every hidden attack planned against you is suddenly exposed under divine light. What was done in darkness is dragged into the open by God's presence. The enemy scrambles in confusion because your prayer has ignited a war he cannot win. Heaven begins to move on your behalf. The Lord himself steps forward first. His voice echoes through the night, shaking every shadow trying to cling to you. Fear breaks like brittle glass. Whispers of the enemy fall silent. Every spiritual force that rose against you retreats from the fire of his glory. Angels rush to your side, forming a shield around your home. One stands by your bed, another by your door, another at your window. Not one corner of your night is unprotected. Heaven covers you as a fortress. The enemy tries to resist, but resistance becomes impossible. The light of God burns too brightly. His authority shakes every dark presence, forcing them to bow and flee. Your valley becomes a battlefield of glory, and you stand untouched in the center of it. Every chain that wrapped around your mind, worry, anxiety, torment, begins to break link by link. God sends his angels to cut what tried to bind you. Their swords flash with holy fire. Their movements are precise and unstoppable. No chain survives their touch. In the unseen, God silences voices that spoke against you. He crushes the accusations, destroys the lies, and shuts the mouths that tried to rise at night. The enemy's influence collapses. Heaven rewrites the atmosphere around you. The battle intensifies, but not for you. For you, the night is peaceful. For the enemy, the night is defeat. God stands as your warrior, and angels carry out his commands. You rest while heaven fights. Every arrow aimed at your sleep is caught before it reaches you. Every spiritual dart is intercepted by the shield of God. Not one attack touches your mind. Not one thought breaks through his protection. You are surrounded by impenetrable light. The enemy's strategies dissolve. His ambushes scatter. His intimidations fall flat. Because the moment you prayed, God declared over your night, "This one is mine," and heaven enforces every word. In the invisible realm, your room glows with divine presence. A soft golden radiance settles over you, warming your heart and steadying your breath. This is not imagination. This is protection. This is God defending his child. This is heaven fighting on your behalf. And as the battle concludes, peace begins to descend. The enemy has been silenced, his plans shattered, his voice removed from your night. Heaven has responded to your cry. God has won this war for you. Now that heaven has fought for you, a holy stillness begins to settle over the night. The atmosphere softens, your breath eases, and God's presence wraps gently around your soul. No more tension, only peace that flows like warm light. The Lord places a covering over you, not just around your room, but around your thoughts, your emotions, your heart, your sleep, your entire being. A soft, divine glow fills the darkness, not bright enough to startle, but strong enough to comfort. It rests on your pillows, spreads across your blankets, and settles over your spirit like a warm hand of reassurance. God whispers into the silence, "You are safe tonight." And those words carry weight. They carry authority. They penetrate every layer of fear. They silence every unsettled thought. They bring peace that nothing can break. Your mind begins to unclench, your shoulders loosen, and the heaviness you carried all day starts melting under God's presence. This is not ordinary calm. This is supernatural rest, the kind only heaven can give. God surrounds you like a shield, but now his shield feels tender. No longer the fire of battle, now the warmth of a shepherd's embrace. He watches over you with gentleness. He guards you with compassion. He keeps you close. Every corner of your home is filled with quiet protection. The doorways glow with spiritual safety. The windows stand under angelic watch, and no darkness dares to enter. God's peace becomes the atmosphere. His presence becomes your shelter. Your heart slows to a steady rhythm. Your thoughts become lighter, like leaves floating in still water. God restores the inner places that the day tried to drain. He renews your strength in silence. He heals your soul in rest. There is no chaos here, no pressure here, no fear has permission to speak. The Lord stands as your comforter, turning your night into a sanctuary, a place where burdens dissolve and peace becomes your covering. The shepherd watches you with care. He sits beside your valley and remains until morning comes. He does not sleep. He does not drift away. He does not overlook your heart. He stays. Tonight, you don't need to be strong. You don't need to overthink. You don't need to fight anymore. God holds the night for you. He guards what concerns you. He protects what you love. He keeps you in perfect peace. Settle into this moment. Let your spirit exhale. Let the warmth of God's presence wrap around you. You are safe beneath His wings, secure inside His refuge, resting in divine protection. This peace is His gift to you tonight. As your eyes grow heavy, God begins a different kind of work, a quiet, healing work that only happens when your heart is still. He moves gently through the night, restoring what the day tried to break, strengthening what life tried to drain. You do not need to stay awake to be protected. You do not need to fight to remain safe. While you sleep, God stands guard over every moment. He watches your breathing. He settles your thoughts. He carries your burdens for you. Heaven stays awake so your soul can rest. Angels keep their posts around your home, not growing tired, not blinking, not stepping away for a moment. Their watch is steady, loyal, unbroken. The Lord moves through your dreams with healing light. He touches memories that still hurt, unwinds old anxieties, and brings peace to places you didn't know were still wounded. His presence restores you from the inside out. In the silence of night, He rewrites your atmosphere. He removes fear from your sleep, pushes back every lingering shadow, and fills the air with gentle peace. This is the kind of rest that reaches the deepest parts of you. Even as your body sleeps, your spirit remains safe in His hands. God protects your mind from intrusive thoughts, from nightmares, from spiritual disturbance. His peace shields you like soft armor. Heaven works in the places you cannot see. Your tomorrow is being prepared. Your steps are being aligned. Your heart is being renewed. The Lord is not silent. He is shaping your victory in the dark. While you sleep, God removes what you were never meant to carry. He takes the weight off your shoulders, untangles the knots in your thoughts, and breathes rest into your soul. You will wake lighter because He is working now. There is no need to fear the night. For God steps between you and the darkness. He stands at your door. He sits by your bed, and He defends your spirit. Your sleep is not unprotected. It is watched over by heaven itself. Let the stillness settle around you. Let your breath slow and deepen. Let the Lord cradle your weary heart in quiet tenderness. You are safe to let go, safe to drift into rest, safe in the arms of the Almighty. Nothing will disturb you tonight. Nothing will steal your peace. Nothing will break the sanctuary God has placed over your rest. His presence is your blanket. His protection is your shield. His peace is your atmosphere. So close your eyes, knowing heaven is still awake. God is working even now, moving pieces you cannot see, protecting you in ways you cannot imagine. You rest while He finishes the battle for you. As the first light of morning approaches, God begins to lift the final veil of the night. The darkness that once looked heavy now fades under His promise. The valley that seemed endless now reveals a path of victory. Morning rises with His mercy. You wake not by chance, but because the Lord sustains you. Every breath you take is a testimony of His protection. Every thought that rises calm and steady is proof of His covering. You are alive because He held you. What tried to break you in the night has no power in the daylight. God shattered its voice, silenced its influence, and removed its grip on your spirit. The enemy's plans ended in the dark. Morning brings only victory. A fresh strength settles over you, not forced, not rushed, but gentle like sunlight warming your skin. God restores what fear damaged. He renews what exhaustion took. He breathes life back into your soul. This is His morning gift to you. Where there was heaviness, He brings clarity. Where there was confusion, He brings direction. Where there was battle, He brings rest. God transforms your night into peace. You step into this day, not carrying yesterday's burden, but carrying God's promise. There is a new grace on you, a new confidence, a new light in your spirit. The Lord Himself walks beside you. The enemies that troubled your night cannot follow you into your morning. God cut their influence, broke their control, and silenced their voice. You rise above them now. You rise in God's victory. Your steps today will be guided. Your decisions will be strengthened. Your heart will be steady and firm, because God did not just protect you. He prepared you. He shaped your victory in the night so you could walk confidently in the day. Look at the new horizon ahead. Feel how the atmosphere has changed. Your spirit feels lighter, your mind clearer, your heart steadier. This is not coincidence. This is the morning promise of God. The same God who fought for you at midnight now leads you forward with purpose. The same God who silenced the enemy now speaks peace over your path. The battle is over. The war is won. The victory is yours to walk in. Today you carry a new covering. Not fear but faith, not dread but expectation, not heaviness but hope. The Lord surrounds your day just as He surrounded your night. Your steps are blessed, so rise with confidence. Rise knowing God is with you. Rise knowing the night did not win. Rise knowing your shepherd goes before you. Morning brings restoration. Morning brings breakthrough. Morning brings victory. As this prayer comes to an end, feel the stillness that now surrounds your heart. The night may remain dark outside your window, but inside your spirit, the light of God is burning softly and steadily. No fear remains, no voice of the enemy survives this moment. God has covered you tonight. He fought battles you could not see. He silenced threats formed in secret. He lifted your head when fear tried to pull it down, and He wrapped your home in divine protection. He stays with you now as you prepare to rest. The valley has changed. The shadows have lost their power. Where intimidation once stood, now only peace remains. The shepherd watches over you with tenderness and authority, and nothing will disturb your sleep. So breathe deeply and surrender the night. Let God hold what you cannot fix. Let Him guard what you cannot see. Let Him restore what you cannot reach. Tonight is not a night of fear. It is a night of covering, a night of promise. May the Lord bless your dreams, fill your room with peace, and surround your rest with angels. May every corner of your home be touched by His presence, and may your heart know that you are never alone. When the morning comes, may you rise refreshed and renewed, with strength that comes from heaven, with clarity that comes from God, and with victory that was secured while you were sleeping. This night belongs to the Lord. Subscribe so we can pray together every night. May God bless you, protect you, and give you peace, tonight and always.